Okay. So the next thing that we are going to talk is sharing a little bit about the insights that we got from the research that we did last year. So we understand that Brazilian universities, the Brazilian students, sorry, they are really concerned about the costs of studying abroad, if the country is safe for them, and if this is going to help them improve their careers. So if you have here in a column in this chart, what other students they are concerning about, and what the Brazilians, what is important for Brazilians. So maybe you can look at this chart later in more details, and really see the different what Brazilians think and what other students from other countries they think as well. And this is the research that we did last year. So it was a combination from different methodologies. So we did a desk research. So we read articles and things that we could find on the internet. Many research done by our government as well. So we really took like a time to find many data that could help us to understand this in a big picture. And then we did ethnography. That is a methodology that comes from anthropology. So the same way that the anthropologists, they go to tribes, they start living there for a month or 2 months to understand how is the culture of that tribe. We do the same thing, but in online communities. So we start entering in online groups on Facebook that was about studying abroad and universities abroad, and starting talking with those people, asking questions to try to understand how is the culture and what type of knowledge is being shared and created in those online communities.
But just an input about this methodology, about this ethnography method, which we spoke on Friday as well. I think this is so interesting because you're gonna, the way people are relating today, right? Your target audience, let's say your market, is mainly comprised of people who are going to the universities within 3 or 4 years, and today they're using a lot social media, right? So and this is really about understanding their behavior, right, and getting the best information to your research. So I think that's also very insightful.
Exactly. And Brazilians, they are really into social media. So I think Facebook is really strong over here in Brazil. I heard some research, some numbers about Facebook that are the Brazilians. Maybe I'm not sure, but it's the country that spend more time on Facebook. In average, I think each Brazilian spends 45 minutes per day on Facebook, and they are also the population that has most friends and is inside most groups and online communities on Facebook. So Brazilians really use social media. They are heavy users of those platforms, and it's really a way of grasping innovative and different insights for research. So this is one of the different methodologies that we use here to understand how's the culture of Brazilians and how they are related to some topic. And with these insights, we can help companies to relate to those population and be relevant to them.
And to conclude, ethnography is a relatively new approach that has been used for some researchers and companies, and we have the experience to apply this in our projects, And there are many companies in Brazil who have this expertise of using the ethnography in their market research projects. And the amount data and insights you can collect by using these methodologies is amazing. And it's very easy to use once you have been trained for. It's inexpensive compared to other more traditional methodologies. It's something we can do it from our office or from our homes 24/7. We just need to be connected to the internet, have access to the target we have designed, the client, and then we can start straight away to collect data. So we are happy to be able to provide this to our clients because as a relatively new methodology for the last decade, and we have the expertise to use and apply it here for the country.
And also we did qualitative research. So we interviewed 50 people from 5 different groups. So high school students from private schools, parents of those students, educators of those students, Brazilians that went to study abroad and returned to Brazil, and Brazilians that did not study abroad, so they are already in a university, but in a university here in Brazil. And we interviewed those people in 5 different cities. So from São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Porto Alegre, Recife, and Manaus. And then we also did a quantitative research. So we sent an online questionnaire for many people, and we got 1,000 responses, and from 3 different groups: high school students, parents, educators, and from the same cities. Okay, so this is more or less the research that we did, and I'm gonna show some insights that we got from it. So, for example, we asked high school students, how is the university of your dreams? They really want a university that is going to challenge them, that is going to take them outside their comfort zone, and really be relevant. So they want to study something that they can relate to their daily life, so they know how to apply that knowledge, and really like friendly. So they want to have friendly teachers, they want to have friend colleagues that they can share their lives and talk about. They want a university that is creative, that has different methodologies, that can show them different perspectives. So they really want something new and contemporary. They really want to have their hands on, so they want to apply the knowledge that they are learning. They don't want to read books or articles and write essays about it. They want to be in a company, applying that knowledge and see if it's relevant for that company or create new knowledge. So they really want to have their hands on, and they want a university that is inspiring them. They want to be motivated, but for doing this, they need to bring challenge, up-to-date challenge to university, and those challenges to become their essays, So they want a university that is going to be relevant to them and to understand them as a person and a professional that wants to grow all the time, to grow all the time, and to learn constantly. So the next chart, this is an example of how we apply different methodologies as well. So instead of asking students, why do you want to study abroad? And they are going to answer, oh, yes or no. We really put them in a imagination experience. So we make them imagine a situation, and they are going to share with us not just what's rational answers, but also emotional answers. So, for example, we asked for a student, if you imagine that you already went to Europe and you did all your bachelor there, and you are returning to Brazil today after 4 years, and you have this bachelor diploma in Europe, and your best friend is coming to pick you up in the airport. What would you like to tell your friend about your experience living and studying in Europe? what was made your experience so special? So most Brazilians said like this: "Oh, I would love to tell my friend the new people I met." So Brazilians, they are really into networking. They really love meeting new people. So, for example, Brazilian students usually they are going to be a little late for a class if they have the opportunity to take a coffee with a colleague or ask a colleague something. So it's a different student that is not really into tasks, but are more into networking. So the most important thing for them is the new people that they are going to meet. And then they would like to say, oh, my friend, I really learned a really new thing. I'm going to tell you everything about this new topic that I learned in Europe, all the experience that I had to learn this. And then they want to tell to their friends, I want to say to you how much I grew as a person, as a professional. I really changed myself, I'm a new person at the moment. They want to also say, I lived in a different culture, you know, so in Denmark, people used to do things in this way, and it's totally different from Brazil. So I really experienced this new culture living there. And they also want to say how much help they got. So they want to say like, oh, my teacher was really nice with me. He really helped me from the beginning to the end to accomplish my dreams. And I really had great colleagues in my class as well. They had helped me, and we did amazing essays together, you know. So are the important thing for Brazilian students, and it's nice for Danish University to understand this profile of students. For Brazilians, as a conclusion from this research, we understand that universities they are like a bridge for Brazilians, a bridge that is going to take them from what they are now and the person that they want to become. So for many European students, this is not the meaning of a university. Maybe they have different, they relate to university in a different way. But for Brazilians, is much more like that.
Clara, I have a quick question. Most of the Brazilian students, when they think of going abroad, are they also thinking of going back to Brazil, or they would like to have an experience as well beyond the university? Would they plan to stay there for a while as well, or would they just want to get a diploma and go straight away back to Brazil?
We haven't researched this question specifically last year. But I think depends a lot because we have in different regions of Brazil, we have different perspectives about going to a university. So, for example, for Brazilians in the South, they want to be in a university because they can improve their career or their curriculum. And if they are still going to see that being in Europe after university is going to help them, maybe they are going to stay. But for example, Brazilian students from the northeast of Brazil, they are more like they want a university that is going to help them to develop their own talents. So it's a different way of looking for a university. And also if they think that they should return to Brazil and develop their talents here, depends a lot. So I don't have like a precise answer to give you because we haven't researched that, but it's a good question as well.
In addition to that, Rafael, talking from our own experience, we have lived and studied abroad. We stayed a little longer after we did our masters in the Netherlands. And in the Netherlands, to give an example, you can apply for a year extension after your studies, and you can look for a job. And if you find a job, the Dutch government will grant you a visa where you can work in any company in the Netherlands for a year, maybe more if you get permission, if the company gives you a second contract. But in the Netherlands, they encourage you to stay, to get some professional experience in the Dutch market in Europe before you go back to your home country. And normally, when we talk to people, many people like the idea, But as Clara said, Brazil is a huge country, People from the south and the southeast, they're very career orientated, and they probably would take advantage of this opportunity if the country where they are going to offer this possibility. I don't know about Denmark, but maybe if they are from the north or the northeast, they will just enjoy the time while they are studying, and they will return to Brazil as soon as they finish. But maybe there are some countries, like the Netherlands, that are encouraging the students to stay, and this is it's a good selling point for university, as well, to see that despite you studying there, you can also, in addition to your studies, you can also try to get some professional experience before you go back to Brazil.
Exactly, because that also adds to their education, and it's beneficial for the country as well, where they're staying. And I'm basically wanted to hear mostly from your own experiences, because I know you studied abroad.
Yeah, we did a master that was really preparing us to entrepreneur after that. So it was much more easy for us and relevant for us to do this back in Brazil. So from this course, many of the students, they return to their country and they start opening companies there. So maybe depends what you are studying. You have like you grasp like inspiration from the teachers and from the university, and then after the course, maybe you have like more insights in different directions. So now we are going to talk a bit about the Science Without Borders.
So guys, the Science Without Borders, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the program. It was a program established by the Brazilian government a couple of years ago. It started in 2011 as a part of the project to internationalize more the post-degree course, but it really picked up in 2012 and 2013, where the government had this goal of send 100,000 Brazilian students abroad in several areas, So basically, as a Brazilian, if you were in higher education Brazil, you could apply to go to somewhere around the world to complete your studies or do part of your studies abroad, And it was a huge success because many Brazilians wanted to go abroad, and basically the Brazilian government was giving a scholarship that would pay all the costs of these Brazilian students abroad and the tuition fees as well in these partner universities, More than 1/3 of the Brazilian students went to the United States, because the United States always was a top country for Brazilians to go to because of the relationship we have with the United States. Many American companies here. Brazil has a lot of cultural elements that are very much in the United States. So Brazilians always thought of going there when it comes to study abroad. However, the Brazilian government wanted to encourage the Brazilians to search for different possibilities. As such, for instance, and they have maximum number per countries and per university that one student could go. So let's say that I, Itamar, wanted to go to the USA, and they didn't have more places available, so I had to choose another country, otherwise I wouldn't be able to apply for the program. So Europe was a great destination because many European universities made partnerships with the program and allow Brazilian students to go to. And we see this as a great exposure to European universities to inspire more Brazilian students to choose to go there. Because before, as I said, most of Brazilians, they were thinking only going to the US. And now that they had this possibility, that the Brazilian government was encouraging them to choose other countries, this was a very, very, very good opportunity for European universities, including the Scandinavian countries as well. We never really heard people saying about going to Sweden, Switzerland, or Denmark to study, countries, Ireland, for instance, and Spain, Australia, and name it, also benefit a lot from this exposure from the program.
So what you're saying is that other countries than the USA are now more like targeted by Brazilian students as well, right?
Exactly, and these happen because of the Science Without Border programs that open a window, many doors for those universities to promote themselves and the great programs they had available.
So, but the Science Without Borders isn't running anymore, right?
Exactly. The officially the program is on hold. The Brazilians will no longer open new applications. So we don't know exactly where it's going to be very honest. We think that the program has come to an end now. Officially, it's on hold. But the fact is, there aren't many new applications being processed now or new programs being opened now.
Okay.
However, we see this more of an opportunity than a threat, to be honest. If you go in the next slide, I will show you some opportunities for Danish university in Brazil, and this is a link to Science Without Borders. Even though the official program is coming to an end now, and those European universities won't have the number of the students they used to have financed by the government and paid by the government. We see it as a great opportunity for market because now that the Brazilians know that there isn't only the United States to go to when it comes to study abroad, but there are many other countries in Europe, for instance, in Scandinavian countries, in Denmark. It would be easier for universities, for European universities, to come to Brazil to advertise their education programs, and recruit more Brazilian students. Go ahead.
I'm just reading the slide here. Sorry. So parents, okay, yeah, actually, because you have to sell that to the parents as well, right? When you sell the programs, the parents are the target.
Yes, without a question. We in the study we did last year, as we described briefly, we interviewed the students, the parents, and the educators. We believe that the educators, they are part of the decision-making process as well. We interviewed a lot of high school students, for instance. This is it's a very interesting study because it's revolutionary in the sense that not many universities, when they come to Brazil, they target this market of high school students. They only target students who are already doing a degree and want to do a post-degree abroad. And who is going to pay for the tuition fees? Who is going to encourage the students to go abroad? Their parents, and also the educators. The educators, they will encourage those students their decision-making process of staying in Brazil or studying abroad, or what to study in Brazil, what to study abroad.
So, for example, for parents, it's really, really important safety. So, if the country is at the moment with some issues, and parents, they probably would not allow their child to go abroad to that country because Brazilian parents, they are really they really love taking care of their child. So they don't think that a person with 17 or 18 years old is totally ready to be abroad by itself, by himself or herself, to study. So they really want to understand if that country is safe for them, and also if the university they have tutors that is going to
Mm-hmm.
help them to accomplish their studies. So the first two topics from these slides that we are showing is insights from our research. So if we haven't asked the parents about what was their opinion of studying abroad, we would never grasp those insights.
Uh-huh.
From teachers, they said that, for example, new methodologies and extracurricular activities are also really important for them. So they are going to advise students to choose this university or that based on those topics. If it's
Mm-hmm.
methodologies are innovative or if they have extracurricular activities. But for students, for example, they are not really thinking about, oh, is this country safe, or
Mm-hmm.
I will have tutors, or the methodologies are in this way or that way. They want more to understand the experience that they are going to have, new people they are going to meet, if the environment of the campus is really nice for them. So here we are like giving an overview of all those different perspectives together. And from what we saw from the Study Denmark website, we saw that universities are being advertised in this way. So we understand that it's a good match from Danish university, what they are offering, and what the Brazilians they are looking for. So we think this is a great opportunity for Danish university to approach the Brazilian market.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, especially when you say here it's about the rigid teaching methodologies when you compare Brazil and Denmark. Because in Denmark, everything is so, I don't think loose is the word, but it's like laid back. It's a lot more relaxed. You see a lot of people working in groups all the time. And in Brazil, you know, our education system is really like meant for you to memorize and things instead of learning by doing and interacting and you know having a great exposure, I think, and really having like a hands-on experience when you're working with your classmates and etc.